Bucket hop. What is up, everyone? How are you all today? Today I kind of just wanted to sit down, talk a little bit. As you may know, I am a consultant at one of the Big Four accounting firms. For those of you who don't know what the Big Four accounting firms are, they are KPMG, EY, Deloitte, and PWC. These four firms are global firms. Whatever country you happen to be from, most likely that the Big Four are over there. They're global, they earn billions of dollars every year, and they're actually quite a desired workplace to work for. But why is that? That's what this video is about. I'm going to be telling you the pros in my experience that I have perceived, that I have seen, witnessed, engaged in. Anyway, yeah, pretty much the positives that I've experienced as a graduate risk consultant. So I actually wrote a list. I'm very organized. So, the pros of the Big Four. Number one, can be thought, I guess, as a pro or a con, depending how you look at it. It's that the staff is very youthful. As you walk around the Big Four, you'll notice that the majority of the employees are probably under 30. Now, you can be a pessimist and think, oh, maybe it's because the turnover rate is so high. Yes, that is true. But in my experience, I haven't really seen any other companies that are so youthful and everyone is kind of the same age. Unless you're talking about like 15-year-olds that work at Macca's. But I just mean like, as a graduate role, you don't really see many other places that has such an abundance of younger staff. Ah yes, the prestige. The trade-off for lower pay. But I will tell you this, it does feel good telling people that you work for one of the Big Four. I think in an ideal world, prestige should not matter at all. But unfortunately, in the world that we live in, prestige factors in for a lot. Working for the Big Four shows two main things, I feel. Sorry, I'll make it three. Okay, it shows that you've performed relatively well at university, so you have a certain level of education. Number two is that you've competed and won against thousands of other people who have applied for the exact same position as you, especially in the sense of a graduate program. And number three, it kind of shows that you can hold your own in a conversation and in an assessment center setting. For those of you who don't know, when you apply for one of these big firms, you have to go through a whole day of tests and activities to prove that you deserve to work for the company. So in regard to prestige, it does feel good telling people that you work for one of the Big Four, but I feel like it shouldn't be the main determinant for why you work for them. Number three is the exit ops, meaning exit opportunities, which kind of goes and links with the prestige. Working for the Big Four shows other employers that you've been trained and worked with the best in your field. Because of this, many people join the Big Four for 2 to 3 years, make senior, and then leave and start earning double their salary. So I said before that the trade-off for the prestige was the lower salary. But the reason for this, if you decide to leave after 2 or 3 years, you're going to be making significantly more than you would if you started at a Fortune 500 company in the same department. Number four is the learning and development. All the Big Four companies want their employees to be the smartest and have a one-up on the other Big Four, so they continuously invest into learning and development. Now this can be through traditional further education, such as CFA, CA, or any of those programs that they highly push. But then there's the untraditional routes, where they have their own programs for learning and development that are exclusive to that Big Four company, that no other place can offer. I feel like I've got a cold. This is not good. I really hope it's not Rona. This one is huge, especially as a graduate. It's the culture. The culture in the Big Four is unlike anything I've ever imagined. I imagine it's quite similar to Google. Google has a famous reputation for having the best culture, but in my experience, at least in my team, the culture has been amazing. For example, this also links with the youthful staff, but every Friday night, graduates from all teams kind of get together and then go out. And by doing this, you would have made connections that you would have never made otherwise. And the great thing is, kind of linking back to the youthful staff, people at the Big Four come from every single demographic. They come from a variety of experiences, so you're bound to meet someone who's just like you, and you make some great friends. For example, one of my friends, obviously I like YouTube and doing side hustles, things of that nature. One of my friends does photography on the side. So you actually end up meeting people with pretty similar interests to you, and then you get along very well, and you make good friends. I haven't particularly used this one, but working for one of the Big Four, you actually do get a wide variety of discounts. I believe that all the Big Four share the same discounts, but it's things like JB Hi-Fi, Apple, any big name pretty much. You also get discounts for loans, which is nice, and higher interest rates on savings accounts for certain banks, which is very nice. But not only these kind of discounts, you also get discounts into like clubs and things where you get special membership and you get to go to like the priority sections and things like that. Usually you have to pay like a special membership fee to get invited to these, but it's specifically offered to people at Big Four. So you get kind of exclusive deals, I guess you could say. So this kind of links with learning and development, but they do actually pay for further study. So if you do want to do a master's or a CFA or a CA or a CPA or any of those things, then the company will most likely pay for it. Me personally, I don't plan on doing any of them right now because I'm really enjoying not studying, because I spent a lot of time in the past 3 years at university studying a lot. So I'm enjoying my downtime. I'm sure many of you, especially if you're going into consulting, want to travel. Big Four offers many travel opportunities, especially in advisory, as I said, or consulting. But not only domestic travel, you can also apply to do international travel, which is quite cool, and kind of go on exchange just as if it was a university exchange. It's the same at the Big Four. You can do an exchange or a secondment either way, internationally, which is quite cool. Flexible working is kind of forced upon everyone right now. Everyone's working from home due to the disease. But even before that, all the Big Four kind of very much encourage working from home at like once a week, which is amazing. And not only that, you can decide to come in late and stay late if you like, or any of these flexible working arrangements. They're extremely flexible, and it makes life significantly easier, especially if you want to make YouTube videos. Then when you finish the day, you're already home, you can make a video. It's great. To further the point of flexible working, I guess you can kind of go into leave as well. You actually have the option to buy more leave. So by buying leave, it's pretty much unlimited unpaid leave, which is quite interesting. So if you want to take a 6-month break, go traveling, your job will still be waiting for you when you get back. Unfortunately, due to the current disease, they've kind of forced most people in most Big Four to take all their available leave. So that's what I've been doing, sitting at home, not doing much. Hence why YouTube has come out. In my opinion, one of the greatest things about working at the Big Four is actually there's no such thing as micromanaging at the Big Four, in my experience. You are completely reliable to do all your own work and to find work. So if you don't get shit done, no one's going to come to you and complain. It's kind of expected of you and will reflect in your utilization rate. Utilization rate is pretty much how much of your hours are being utilized to clients, like how much is chargeable to clients. Another great thing about many of the Big Four is the ability to salary sacrifice, which pretty much means it's pretty common with superannuation to do voluntary payments. But to go further than that, if you want to buy a new phone, you can actually buy it through the company, and that will actually be paid for on your pre-tax income. So that works the same with cars and things of that nature. So when you make big purchases, it can actually save you a lot of money with tax. Another big advantage with the Big Four is that you get this opportunity to learn at an exponential rate that you don't get when you work in industry. For example, as a consultant, you kind of go straight into client work, and all the learning is really done on the job. You don't actually have that much training before you dive deep into a real project where you work with your senior consultant manager, senior manager, and partner and director. I think this is actually one of the best way of learning as well, because the whole old-fashioned way of learning where you do it in a classroom isn't as effective as doing on-the-job work. You actually learn what's going on quickest when you learn on the job, in my opinion. At the Big Four, there's actually annual promotions, so there's really no excuse not to be rising the ranks. No one really stays in the same place for too long. You either continue getting promoted or you just leave to go to industry for higher pay. But saying that, if you stay in the Big Four, the opportunity for higher pay down the road is very high when you think about how much partners are making, as they actually get a percentage of the profits in that team. That may actually be one of the biggest advantages to the Big Four as opposed to industry. You do rise the ranks very fast depending on what team you're in, which does of course give you a lot of options down the track. Another great opportunity is to see how all these massive businesses actually work day to day. The clients that the Big Four have are the big name clients. They're the biggest companies in the world, and you get to go to their offices and see how they operate day to day. And saying this, if you ever wanted to work for one of these companies, if you had already consulted them previously, it makes it significantly easier to get a job with those clients. That's assuming they like you, of course, and you worked well. And last but not least is, of course, the offices. If you live in a major city, then the offices of the Big Four will be undescribable. The views are insane. Sometimes me and my friends, we go up to the top floor just to experience the view. It's very nice. Before you base your entire Big Four opinion based on this video, I should probably disclose that I have only worked at one Big Four, and that's purely what this video is about. But each Big Four is pretty similar in most ways, so I feel that this video kind of applies to all of them. If any of you are looking to start at one of the Big Four, make sure you comment down below which one would you like to work at and why. And that's all for this video. If you liked it, make sure you hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with more videos like this one. I'll see you next time.